Welcome back to the channel. RacerX here, and I am back with my good buddies at Clay Cooley Dodge Jeep Chrysler Ram, also Clay Cooley Chevrolet, which you can see over here. They have 3 different stores here, so I'm actually borrowing 2 of their really cool cars today to actually review them for you and give you a little bit of data, so it's going to be a fun one. This is a review that a lot of people have asked me about. We're talking about base model trims here. So a lot of people don't do performance testing on base model trims, but today I am going to provide a little bit of information for you, and it should be a fun one. Also, guys, if you are new to my channel, do me a huge favor. Hit subscribe down there at the bottom. You can follow me on Instagram. Hit that notification bell, and here we go. We got the 1,000 horsepower helmet. So there you go. I've got 2 different cars behind me. I've actually been waiting on both of these cars to show up. And finally, I was able to put these 2 cars together under normal circumstances without a chip shortage. That's quite easy to do, but right now it's nearly impossible to do, but I got it. So we got a V6. This is the SXT Challenger. And then over here, you've got the V6. This is actually an RS Camaro. And a lot of people have asked me, hey, RacerX, should I buy a Camaro? Should I buy a Challenger? Which one is faster? Well, today we're going to do 0 to 60 tests. We're going to use the draggy, and we're going to find out which one of these 2 cars actually is faster. So let me give you a couple of quick specs on these 2 cars, and we'll just jump right into it. All right, so now I've got the hoods to both cars open. It gives you kind of an interesting comparison. Now, keep in mind, this is the V6 version of the Camaro. I realize some people are going to say, well, RacerX, they have a 4-cylinder version as well. That's technically the base engine, but I feel like it's only fair to compare V6 to V6. I mean, I just feel like that's the fairest way to do things, but it makes for an interesting comparison. You're talking about 335 horsepower in this particular engine, so it is a powerful V6 that comes in the Camaro. And as we jump over here, 305 horsepower coming out of the Pentastar V6 that of course comes in the Challenger. So definitely a little bit of a horsepower edge by about 32 the Camaro. Also, when you talk about weight, I know I just kind of need to mention this. You're looking at a car that weighs basically about 3,900 pounds in the Challenger, and here you're about 3,350. So about a 550 pound weight advantage for the Camaro being lighter. So essentially you're at a 30 horsepower difference in horsepower with this one in favor of the Camaro, and 550 pound weight difference in favor of the Camaro. So everything really should favor the Camaro in this test, but you know what? You just never know what can happen. One other quick thing is, I mean, these 2 cars, I purposely picked these 2. I mean, these things are about as based out as really kind of you can get them. And cost for cost, these 2 cars are almost identical. So that's another reason I felt like this was the fair comparison. So as we look at the inside of the Challenger, you can see this has got the kind of the houndstooth of the cloth seats inside. But I do want to just make quick mention, I mean, the driving position in the Challenger is quite a bit different than in the Camaro. Here you're talking about a driver-centric position in this. Really nice interior in this particular car. You can see it's quite comfortable to sit in the Challenger. It is a little bit bigger than in the Camaro. You sit down in the Camaro just a little bit more. Let's go take a look at the Camaro really quick for comparison. And here you have the Chevy Camaro. Once again, cloth seats, a little bit of a difference in terms of the steering wheel here. A very sporty feel indeed on the seats, even though these are cloth. But you can see not a ton of bells and whistles in this particular trim. Both of them have very nice usable infotainment screens in them. Also, you can see this one is a very neutral driving position as compared to the Challenger. So, but another really nice place to sit and do business. Just a very comfortable car to ride and drive in. And let's take them down the road and see what happens. So for the purposes of this test, I like to use the draggy. This is a very accurate tool, works on GPS. So you're talking about same driver, same stretch of road, 2 different cars, but using the exact same tool. Like I said, it works on GPS, so it's very, very accurate. It does not allow for rollout. So I hear people all the time saying, well, my in-car timer says I'm so much faster than you and everything else. Keep in mind, guys, the draggy is very, very different, but it is super accurate. It's actually the in-car timers that can be a little bit inaccurate. And who knows, the Chevy timer might be different than the Challenger timer. So it's just one of those things. You just want to use the same tool, same stretch of road, same driver, everything, all conditions really as equal as you can make them to see which one of these 2 cars really is fastest. So we're going to do the average of 3 runs. So we'll do 3 solid runs, see what the average is, do 3 solid runs in the Challenger, see what the average is, and we'll know which one of these 2 cars truly is faster 0 to 60 on the street. All right, looks like the draggy is ready. This is the Camaro. So obviously I'm in the Camaro first. We're gonna do 0 to 60 on the test, run 1, and here we go. No wheel spin. And that's it. Pretty solid. That was, what was that? That was a 5.87 seconds on round 1 in the Camaro. So let's see if we can better that time. All right, so pretty good run on the first run here for the Camaro. So let's go ahead and go on with round 2, see how it goes. We're off. It's running pretty good. That's all she wrote. No wheel spin at all in this particular trim, so it really mitigates, I guess, just the way the power delivery is in this thing. It just comes on relatively smooth, so it doesn't wheel spin really at all. At least I didn't feel it. So that particular one was a 6.24. That was actually a little bit slower. It was kind of strange because it felt a little bit faster. But anyway, so we got a couple of runs in. Let's jump up here and get run 3 in. All right, here we go. Round 3 in the Camaro. Let's see if we can get a better time. We got some wheel spin on that one. All right, that's it. So 6.29 on that one. Had some serious wheel spin on that one for some reason. All right, so the verdict is in. That's my 3 runs in the V6 Camaro, and the thing felt like it had quite a bit of power, actually. So it didn't feel like V8 power, but it definitely was not slow. So I was actually pretty impressed with the Camaro. So we ended up with a 5.87, a 6.24, and a 6.29 for an average of a 6.13. So now we'll jump over to the Challenger and see how that one does. All right, now I am aboard the Challenger V6, so we're gonna go ahead and head over to Velocidad, Mexico, which is the spot, get a couple of pulls, actually 3 pulls, from 0 to 60, see what our average is. All right, draggy's ready. This is pull number 1 in the Challenger, so let's see what happens here. No wheel spin, we're off, nice and clean. It's running pretty smooth. That's it, we're at 60. A pretty smooth little run out of the Challenger right there. Not a lot of fanfare in that one. So that particular one was a 6.54. So pretty good little baseline run. We'll jump up here and grab run number 2. All right, so here we go. Run number 2 in the Challenger. Let's see if we can get off without any wheel spin here. We're off. Nice clean start. And there we go. All right, so that one was a 6.33, so a little bit better on that run. So let's go jump on round 3 here, and then we'll get our average. All right, last and final run in the Challenger. Let's see if we can get a nice clean run in, and then we'll get our average. Here we go. We're off, just a little screech, but nothing that's gonna hurt us. We're cranking pretty good here. And there we go, that's 60 mile an hour. So let's see, that one was a 6.27, so pretty solid work out of the Challenger, pretty darn consistent. One thing I will say, I don't drive the V6 trims very often, but I really feel it in the Challenger, but the Camaro was a nice driving car as well. But I really do notice whenever I drive these SXT trims, they just have a really nice quality about them in terms of just, if you were gonna daily drive something, I know I've mentioned it in the past, but like this car drives so smooth. It's just a really nice, kind of a quiet place to sit, but I kind of love the way the Challenger feels when I'm driving around it and just how smooth it is to drive. But anyway, we'll go get our average here. All right, so that concludes all 3 runs in the V6 Challenger, and the Challenger did pretty well. It really didn't want to wheel spin at all. I mean, these cars, they don't wheel spin a lot. It came off the line pretty clean. And obviously due to the additional weight, it wasn't quite as fast as a Camaro. It was 6.54, 6.33, and a 6.27 for an average of a 6.38. And as we know, the Camaro did a 6.13. So really, it's like 2.5 tenths difference between the to. But keep in mind, like I said, 550 pounds heavier the Challenger is, and it's also working with a 30 horsepower deficit, you know, so you've got to take those two things into account. So really, 2.5 tenths difference. I kind of thought maybe there might be a little more than that, but you know, this was the result I expected. You know, being lighter and being a little more powerful, the Camaro really should win this one, but actually, like I said, a little closer than what I thought. It makes for a really fun little test. And of course, if we were to put maybe the 4-cylinder turbo Camaro versus the Challenger, I feel like maybe the results might be the opposite. But it makes for a fun little, just little test. So if you're out there cruising around in your V6 Camaro or your V6 Challenger, you might know kind of what you're up against. So there you have it. That answers the question, which of the two cars is faster, a V6 Camaro or a V6 Challenger? So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of, you know, the results of this test. And it's always interesting. People always say, well, you know, my car's faster, and, you know, my V6 runs, you know, 0 to 60 in 1.3 seconds on the street all day long in snow uphill. And keep in mind, the Draggy is a very accurate tool. So anyway, guys, food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.